You hit me up late at night again, saying things you never.
Hi, Tiffany. Welcome back to my channel. How are you, Tiffany? How have you been? I've missed you so much. It's been ages. Where have you been? Today we have a horror Halloween spooky book recommendation video. Listen, these videos are like my bread and butter, okay? Because I love talking about the books that I love, and I love hearing from you. We are two ships in the night, passing, blowing kisses. I'm so excited to talk to you about all of the books. Tried to pick books that I don't talk about as much. We've got like ghosts, we've got ghouls, we've got killers, we've got all kinds of stuff, okay? We've got a little bit of everything for a little bit of everybody. Before we get to that, Tiffany, let's talk a little bit about sexual health and sexual well-being with today's sponsor, Beducated. Beducated has 100 plus online courses on sex, on intimacy, on consent, on like freaky deaky stuff, okay? Not even just like freaky deaky stuff, but like freaky deaky stuff. The classes on Beducated are taught by like the world's leading top experts, okay? People who like know what they're talking about, who know what they're doing. Those people are on Beducated. They're talking about their specialties, which includes video tutorials, practical exercises, and reliable information. One class that I've been taking recently is called the Sex Audit, which is for people who are single, people in a relationship, whether that be like, you know, monogamous, polyamorous, whatever. Basically, the class is taught by this woman named Julia. Julia is smart. Julia knows exactly what she's talking about. The class is an actionable guide to creating a personal annual review that inspires meaningful growth and enhances your sex life. The class feels a lot like self-help. It almost feels therapeutic in a way, because you're going through and you're doing these like meditations, these like journaling exercises to like get closer to yourself and like your needs. She talks a lot about why it's important to audit your sex life, why it's important to reflect on the intimacy that you have with like your partner, with yourself. It might be one of my favorite classes that I've taken so far on Beducated. With Beducated, there is a 14-day risk-free guarantee. So if you sign up and within 14 days you're not feeling the vibe, that's totally chill, my guy. You can totally get your money back. No issue, no problem. What you need to do, Tiffany, is click the link in the description, go to Beducated, and use code Jordaline to get 50% off the yearly subscription. Once again, click the link in the description, check out Beducated, sign up for their yearly subscription, and get 50% off using code Jordaline. Thank you so much to Beducated for sponsoring today's video. First things first, Tiffany, let's begin with Christopher Triana. I've only read a few things from Christopher. I've kind of avoided his extreme horror. It's a little bit too much for me. It's a little bit too much. I want to be an extreme horror girly. I do. I genuinely do. And I've been thinking about maybe like doing like a reading vlog where I try to read extreme horror. But anyway, I have these two books, both by Christopher Triana. This one is The Long Shadows of October, which is set around Halloween and is perfect for Halloween. And then I also have this one, which is Gone to See the Riverman. Tiffany, let me sell you on this, okay? Because this book had me by the throat, like surprisingly. I didn't expect it to. I kind of just picked it up on like a whim. It literally blew me out of the water. It sent me into space. So this is about this girl. Her name is like Kayla, I think. And she has these like stupid boy friends, like they're friends and they're boys, and they're dumb. These guys end up getting this gig where they have to house sit, but the house is haunted by a succubus ghost witch. The house is haunted, Tiffany. Haunted by a succubus ghost witch. And Kayla, being the bad bitch that she is, realizes that her friends are in big trouble. So she goes to this house and she's gonna kick ass. Brava. This is so good. And it's perfect for Halloween. I would say this is like in my opinion, this is the best book to read in October. Kind of has everything that I love about spooky books. It's really, really fun as well. There's some characters who are so hateable, and when they die, it is genuinely relieving, heartwarming, wholesome content. When my least favorite characters died, I was like, the warmth of God. Gone to See the Riverman by Christopher Triana is completely different. So in this, we're following this girl named Lori. Lori is like pen pals kind of with this like guy whose name is like Edmund Cox or something. She's like pen pals with this guy and he's in prison because he's a murderer. He's like a serial killer, killed women in horrific, torturous ways. Edmund is not a good vibe, but Lori loves this guy, obsessed with him. I think Lori's also like a journalist, so I think she's like, I'm gonna get an interview or whatever. Anyway, Edmund is like, hey, Lori, you need to do something for me. You need to go see the Riverman. And so Lori is like, okay, Edmund, I'll do anything for you because I just like love you so much. You're just like the best. Lori goes to see the Riverman, goes to try to find the Riverman. Lori ends up bringing her sister, who I think has a development disability, I think. But her sister should not be there. But she is. And I will say this book is hard to read. Not in the sense of it being like extremely graphic or gory, but just in the relationships between the character. Like the relationships are the horror. The way that Lori feels about certain things, the way that Lori is a person, like in the book, that's the horror. I'm going to be honest with you, Tiffany. I don't like Lori. I don't like Lori even a little bit. I hope, honestly, that she's dead. There is a second book. I haven't read it. Mostly because I'm not over this one. Let's also talk about Exquisite Corpse by Poppy Z. Bright. This is another like trauma type of book. So in this, we're following this guy who escapes from prison. He was in prison because he like killed a bunch of people and he was really bad. But then he meets this guy named like Brian or Bryn or something. And this guy's also like really weirdo, like a real weirdo. And they get together and they're like gay or whatever together. I'm pretty sure they're gay together. But they decide to find an exquisite corpse. And they may have found it in a Vietnamese man named Tran. This book isn't even scary to me. It's not even like something that I think is like extremely disturbing. I mean, okay, no, it is disturbing. It's disturbing. Don't get it twisted. More than that, what I remember about it is how sad it is and how I cried. So if you want to be a saddie during Halloween, this could be it for you. But it is also really fucked up. But it is also very gay. So if you're homophobic, maybe don't read it. If you're homophobic, why are you here? Honestly. On the other side of the spectrum, we have Hunted by Darcy Coates. Hunted by Darcy Coates is something that I didn't expect to pussy pop its way into my heart. I didn't think Darcy had it in her. I went into it with like the lowest expectation. I thought, I'm gonna fucking hate this. And then I left the experience thinking, Darcy, she made a fucking blockbuster Hollywood fucking film. In this, we're following a group of people who go into the woods because one of these people, his sister, went missing like a week or two or like a month ago. Him and his family are worried. They haven't seen her. There's been no contact. People are presuming that she's dead, but he has hope. He's like, I'm going to find my sister. So he goes with him and his like friends. They go out into the woods. Of course, things go horribly, horribly wrong. And it's this question throughout the book of like, is it something supernatural or is it a human being being a fuck shit? This book is like if you combined all of these like teenage horror movie in the forest trope kind of things into one book. But for some reason, and I don't know why, Darcy Coates absolutely fucking slams it. That ball was coming and she spiked it. It's so good. It's so entertaining. It's so fun. It's genuinely interesting. The characters play well with each other. It's so good, but for no reason. I was going to do a little bit of research about this book before I started filming and then I forgot to. I think you can probably find it via ebook or maybe it's even been like republished because I know that at one point it was out of print, but I think it's now back in print. I'm talking about True Crime by Samantha Koulsnik. Bro, the way that this book revolutionized everything about me. I remember so clearly reading Dead Inside by Chandler Morrison and famously fucking hating it. Obviously, because it's absolute dog shit. Sorry, it's absolute fucking dog shit. And I will go to my grave and I will say that it's dog shit. Sorry. Can you see Bug? Bug, you're ruining everything. I read this immediately after Dead Inside, and the way that it was like a breath of fresh air, because Dead Inside is a novella. And I know this is like now becoming like a hate video for Dead Inside, which like I don't mind at all. I'm sure you don't either. But that book is like misogyny on steroids, okay? It's like this fucko edgelord freak guy fucking a bunch of dead women, or like women being like, I like being raped, so rape me after I die. Fucking weird. Even if it's satire, it's fucking weird. So that book was that. And then this book was like, what if women had autonomy? This book was like, what if women were fucking people? The way that I fell in love with Samantha Koulsnik from that moment, and still do love Samantha Koulsnik deeply. Okay. Bug. This is about this girl named Susie. Susie and her brother Lim live with her mom, and their mom is a creep. Her mom sexually abuses Susie and lets other people sexually abuse her. So Susie, one day, she comes home and she's had a hard day. And she's like, you know what? I'm going to kill this bitch. So she does. She hits her over the head with like a big glass ashtray. But her mom's not dead. So she calls up Lim. Ring, ring, ring. Hello. Hey, Lim. Come home. Strangle her mom. So Lim comes home. And he takes the telephone cord and he wraps it around that bitch's fucking throat, strangles her to death. And then Lim and Susie are on the run from the law because they're murderers. Look at this guy. You're so sweet. If you can get your hands on this, because it's really, really, really good. It's beautiful. I did grab a few manga. Specifically, I wanted to talk about this because I was thinking about like the scariest things that I've read. And I thought, this manga terrifies me. I still have not gone back to it because I'm genuinely afraid of what it's going to do to me. And that is PTSD Radio. And you look at this cover, you think, what the fuck is scary about that? That's not even scary. You don't even fucking know, dude. You don't even know, dude. After reading this volume, I don't want to touch hair. Ugh. Also, can I say something? What makes it also really spooky dooky icky is the fact that the mangaka literally is on hiatus. Like, he had to stop writing this because the things that were happening in the manga started happening to him. If that doesn't scare you, I don't know what should, what would. And I don't even know how to describe the plot to you. If I'm being honest with you, I don't know how to describe the plot. There are 3 volumes and it is unfinished. Like I said, the mangaka, from what I remember, from what I know, is on hiatus. I don't know if he'll ever go back to it. If I was him, I never fucking would. If I was him, you couldn't fucking pay me, dude. It's one of the most unsettling manga, graphic novels, visual art storytelling type of pieces of media that has freaked me out. I do want to one day finish it, but I want to do it when I'm like less of a pussy, like less afraid, because I'm afraid. I'm gonna be honest with you, Tiffany. I'm afraid. So why am I recommending it to you? Because I also want you to be afraid. I want us to share this. I want us to be together in this. I feel like if you read it and then you tell me it's not that scary, I might read it. By the way, also, I should mention, I read volume 1. I haven't read volume 2 or 3 because I'm scared. I also wanted to mention The Summer Hikaru Died. This is a pretty recent release. The anime, I think, just finished airing on Netflix. I've only read, I think, volume 1. Maybe I also read volume 2. I can't remember. Like, the art is stunning. Absolutely gorgeous. And it's also genuinely very creepy. So basically, we're following this guy named Yoshiki. Yoshiki has a friend named Hikaru. Good friends. And Yoshiki kind of has like a crush on Hikaru. The manga's gay. Talk to a wall, okay? Fight with a wall. I won't hear anything else other than the fact that Yoshiki is gay for Hikaru. Come on. Let's be fucking for real. Anyway, Yoshiki and Hikaru are like really good friends. They're like best friends. And one day he's hanging out with Hikaru. I think they're outside of like a convenience store. And Yoshiki says to Hikaru, "You're not really Hikaru, are you?" The thing that's taken Hikaru's place confirms it basically by like being gross, by like oozing out this like premortal goo. Is that the right word? Primordial? From what I've read of the manga, it's really, really good. And I'm really excited to continue on with it. I believe right now there's up to volume 6 out. Plus there's also the anime. And it is spooky. It's really, really spooky. But also, while being spooky, it's pretty fucking gay. Let's talk a little bit about this book, which I did read a few months ago. That is William by Mason Coyle. This is such a fun, easy read. Genuinely had me like glued to the page. When I picked it up, I was like, oh, I'll read like 50 pages and then I'll go do something else. No, I sat there and I read the full thing. It's also an incredibly short book. This is about this guy named Henry, who's like a brilliant robots guy. He's like, ooh, robotics or whatever. So he has all of these like robot toy thingies are kind of like all around the house. They're kind of creepy. If I'm being honest, they're kind of creepy. But he also has like a wife, and the wife is like kind of the moneymaker. She's like the breadwinner. Henry is like, you know, in his little closet or whatever, making his little toys, his little robots. And his wife is like, I'm going to work, honey. Henry has built this robot called William. And William is kind of like half formed. He doesn't have legs, but William is also like a sassy bitch. William will roast and read Henry to filth in 3.6 seconds. But things kind of go wrong when Henry's wife invites a bunch of people over. William decides to like make an appearance. It's a bit crazy. It's a bit crazy. Like I said, this is so easy to get through and genuinely so page turnery. I also believe that this was the last book that Andrew Piper wrote before he passed away. Mason Coyle is his pseudonym. Really, really good. I would recommend this, especially if you're in like a slump. If you want something like quick, easy, it's really good. Speaking of quick and easy, I have Strange Houses by Yukatsu. This I feel is more of like a thriller than a horror. I also feel as though it's something that you could read in like 2 hours, 3 hours tops. This is about a guy who sees the floor plan for this house. And he's like, it kind of gives me a bad vibe, gives me a bad feeling. Let me ask my friend who's like an architect or whatever. So he asks his friend and they start then theorizing about like why this house is so weird and why it doesn't really make any sense in terms of its layout, because there are certain things about the house where it's like, why would you put that there? Why would you do that? Why is there this empty space here? Kind of all builds, and you learn the mystery of like this house and then like people who live there. It's really, really good, very fast paced, and genuinely kind of a mind fuck. I was sitting there doing like the math. I was like, wait, so if actually there is that, and then I'm very, very excited to read Yukatsu's other book, which I think is Strange Pictures. I don't know if it's from the same point of view, if it's like the same character or if it's a different character. Either way, I'm really looking forward to it. Let's talk about They Never Learn by Layne Fargo. If you haven't read this, Tiffany, you need to. I'm telling you right now, it's so good. It's so good. This is like a thriller about this professor. She's like a professor at like a college or like a university or something. She is also a serial killer. She kills men, like specifically like douchey, rapey kind of guys. And so like she'll choose one dude a year. And the book starts out with her like choking out a guy. The book is basically between her perspective and then also a perspective of another girl who's going through some hardship in terms of sexual assault. I don't want to say too much, Tiffany. I just need you to know that it's like one of the best revenge kind of thrillers I've ever read. I also love it when women destroy men. If that's the thing that you like, I think you would love this. Let's also talk about Incidents Around the House by Josh Malerman. I read this in a single sitting, could not put it down because it had me by the throat. And I will say 99% of it is perfection. But then the last 1%, Josh Malerman decided to take a giant fucking shit on me, on you, on the book. Ending pisses me off. So we're not even going to talk about it. But in case you don't know, Incidents Around the House is about this little girl whose name I do not remember. Bella. I never forgot. This is about Bella. She's 8 years old and the book is told through her perspective. Bella has a mom and a dad and a grandma, and she's like a normal kid, you know? But she also happens to have another mommy, or what she calls other mommy. It's chill for the most part. Also, sometimes it's not so chill because other mommy will be like, hey, Bella, let me into your heart. And Bella, even at 8 years old, is like, that's suspicious. No. And things start to go really wrong when other mommy presents herself to Bella's parents. And the book is a whirlwind. Okay, it's so creepy because also other mommy really isn't described. But when she is described, it's almost like this thing of it's so horrifying that it's indescribable. And that, I don't like that. That really fucks me up and I don't like it because it lets my imagination run and it's scary. I really love this book except for like the last page. You know, not everybody is perfect, I guess. Let's also quickly talk about A.M. Shine and The Watchers. This book is like very 50-50. There are people who really like it, like me. I love it. There are people who are like, no, that book was dog shit. This is such a creepy book and I feel honestly like it's perfect for fall. Like when I think about fall, this is like one of the things that comes to my mind. It's like set in the forest, and things set in the forest, I'm sorry, are very fallish. This is about Mina. Mina is kind of down on her luck a little bit, but she gets this little job to basically transport this bird to this person, and she's going to get paid like a lot of money for it. So she decides to do it. But on the way there, her car breaks down, like on the middle of the road. Beside the road, there's woods. What does Mina hear in the trees but a fucking scream? And what does Mina do? What would you do, Tiffany? Mina, she decides, I'm gonna go into that forest and I'm gonna investigate. Could never be me, bro. Never. First of all, I'm not getting stranded in the middle of fucking nowhere. That's for sure. Second of all, if I hear screaming, I'm locking the doors. I'm not getting out of that car. No. But yeah, that's where the book begins. The characters, the twists and the turns, the actual like plot, like once you get into like the mechanics of the book is so interesting. Genuinely kept me on my toes. I also read this book in a single sitting. I had to mention David Sodergren somewhere in this video. My only thing was like, which one? And I went with Nightshoot because I haven't talked about it in a while and I feel as though I need to reiterate how much I love this. So this is about a girl who's a university student and she has to go out to this shoot at this really creepy old manor with her classmates to do this like short film for their like final project for university. There is something in the house that wants to eat them. which is so cute. So cute and fun. What I love about this book is some of the characters are so hateable. And that's the thing about David Sodergren. He has characters where you genuinely are waiting with bated breath for them to absolutely be torn apart by whatever monster is stalking them because they're so abhorrent. And that's this book, bro. There are characters in this book where I wanted to shake David's hand when they died. I wanted to say, thank you, sir. You've done a service by creating this character, but then by immediately killing them in the most horrific way. And that's the thing too, David Sodergren, his death scenes, so spooky, so gory, so creative. And that's what I love. I love like a slasher that has like creativity. Let's get creative. We're almost done, but I have this book, which is The Spite House by Johnny Compton. Okay, this is a theme for this video, but I'm pretty sure I also read this in one sitting. This is a haunted house book about a man who is on the run with his children. I think his children are like 4 and maybe like 12 or 14 or something like that. He is basically running out of money. He sees this ad in the paper that's like, come live at this spite house and we'll give you a ton of money. So much money. Like just like $100,000 kind of money. And so he sees this. He's like, hello, can I have the money, please? I'll stay at that house. So they interview him. They love him. They're like, oh my God, you're perfect. You're perfect for this. You're perfect for this. Our main character asks, it's safe for kids, right? And they're like, how could you even ask that? Of course it is. It's so safe for children. That's such a silly question. But yeah, it's totally safe for kids. So he and his children move into this house. And let me tell you right now, it's not safe for kids. It's not safe for fucking anybody, bro. It's haunted. I love this book so much. I think about this. First of all, it makes me kind of sad. But then I think about the good times. Bro. It's spooky, but it has these like beautiful familial moments between like him and his daughters, and then like him and like his family. You need to read it. Let's talk about The Crow Girl. This is by Eric Axel Sund. I haven't talked about this book in a while, it feels. This is actually less a horror, more of like a crime thriller, but it is spooky. In The Crow Girl, we're following this detective named Jeanette. Jeanette is like one of the first people on this scene where they find the remains of an abused boy, like a little boy. And Jeanette is like, we got to get resources in on this. We got to find out what happened. But because the boy was an immigrant, because he wasn't from this country, which I think is Sweden, they're like, nah, we don't want to. He wasn't from here, so like, who cares? But then the remains of 2 more little boys are found, and they're like, oh shit, this is a serial killer situation. So Jeanette is like, I fucking told you so, you bitch, but whatever. Jeanette goes to this woman named Sophia, who's like a psychologist, to get like kind of help in terms of profiling who could be doing this. And Sophia and Jeanette, they get close. Okay, professionally, personally. So Jeanette and Sophia are like kind of lesy, and they work on figuring out who's killing these children. And also, might I add, mummifying them. The bodies are being discovered mummified. Spooky. It's spooky, but also gay. Listen, it's been years since I read this, but I fucking loved it when I did. I honestly want to reread it just to know if I still love it. If you have read this, you need to tell me, and you need to tell me what you thought of it. I really loved it. It is also, I will mention, a bind up of, I think, 4 books, maybe 5 books, and it is translated. The last book I want to talk about is another more thriller-esque type of book, and that is Night Film by Marisha Pessl. This book, listen, I remember when I read this book for the first time, I think I also read it like almost in one sitting. I think I read it in 2 sittings. Either way, this cover, first of all, is so stunning. This is about this guy who's like a journalist, but he's kind of been blacklisted. Nobody really fucks with this guy. He like looked stupid. There's this film director named Cordova. This journalist is like hell-bent on proving that Cordova's a freak, okay? Because Cordova makes these like culty-ish, like underground horror films. They're very famous because of these horror films. Our guy is like, Cordova's a freak. He's like a weirdo. Like, ew. Everybody is like, no, bro, you're a freak. You're a fucking weirdo. What are you talking about? Because of that, he kind of like loses his career. But then Cordova's daughter, I think her name is Tiffany, Cordova's daughter dies, apparently by suicide. But our guy, our journalist, who I think his name's like Scott or something, he's like, she didn't die by suicide. She was murdered by her father because he's a fucking freak. That's the book. The book is him trying to prove that Cordova is like this evil entity. I know it sounds simple, but I'm telling you, it's so good. I will also say that this book is much more plot driven than character driven. So if that's your thing, you could love this. I honestly don't know what I prefer more, if I prefer plot or character. I think I like a good mixture of both, honestly. Anyway, Tiffany, my friends, my family, my familia, thank you so much for being here with me today. It's been so much fun. I've missed you so much. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're living, laughing, loving, striving, and thriving. Don't forget also to check out Beducated. Use code Jordaline to get 50% off the yearly subscription. Thank you so much. Let me know down below if you've read any of these books, if you have some like horror Halloween recommendations. I would love to know your picks, your ideas. It's been so good seeing you. I hope you're doing well. Don't forget to hit subscribe because we talk about spooky shit, talk about creepy shit, we talk about Darcy guts and night film and shit. Thank you so much. I have a wonderful day, Tiffany. I'll see you later. It's been so good seeing you. Ugh, you're so beautiful. Bye. Goodbye, you're beautiful. Goodbye, you're beautiful. Bye.
Wanna go dumb? Yeah, I need that. We don't give up. Where my girls at? Wanna cop this?